Hey everybody, I was just gonna let you know I just finally got my order in from Pyroboom. I ordered just a 6-shot DR9 rack and a 20-shot DR11, but I ordered the DR11s at 15-inch, so I have some variants in all of my racks. Here you can see I've got both of my 30-shot racks that I made, and then my little rocket rack. So anyways, let's open this up and see what we got. Shipped at FedEx, so I'm assuming there's some assembly required. Maybe not. Look at that. So that's just a 6-shot from Pyroboom. It's got a nice stout 2x4. Looks like it's trimmed down a little bit. Nice base plate so you can set some blocks on it or whatnot. Let's set that aside. Tubes. Get that all set in there. And then I got my 20 shots in there as well. So that's pretty cool. Wondered how they would ship all that. Looks like it's a bit of a mess inside there, just kind of all the tubes laying loose, but so that's the 20-shot there, and the way they do their 20-shot is it's just an extra wide slot, so you can double your tubes up inside there, just like that. So we got 15 of them. Let's see if we got. So that's the 15-inch there. They all come plugged and everything in there. It's a good solid plug. These are the 15-inch DR11. You know what? I think they sent me the then the 12-inch DR9s. Clean that off a little bit so you can see the difference. That diameter ratio, the DR number, it's closer to 0, you get a thicker wall. So it's kind of funny because the DR9 actually has, and we'll go over there and kind of look at it a little closer, but the DR9 actually has a much thicker wall on it, which makes it the smaller diameter internally than the DR11. The DR11 holds canister shells, ball shells, but they're the 1 3/4-inch shells, compared to the DR9, which is used just for the consumer basic ball shells, anything small like 1 1/2-inch shells, which is kind of ironic because it's a smaller shell, so it's not going to have that much of a composite inside of it, and yet it's got the thicker wall on it. You would think that in the industry of fireworks that they would make the bigger tubes that can accommodate the bigger shells with the thicker walls to prevent blowouts, but anyways, that's the way it is. So, but the DR9s come plugged and everything as well. Looks like 1, 2, got 3 staples in the plug on the DR9, 3 staples on the DR11 as well. So just got that in, 20-shot and the 6-shot on it. So I kind of want to get these opened up here and do a comparison. Move this here. I'm going to get a couple shells out and see how everything looks, how they're going to fit. Here a while ago I posted a video for the Red Rhino. I picked up the Max D shells, maxed out shells, and theirs actually comes with the mortar comes with that tube on the bottom of it, but I probably won't be using that. So get that shell out. I just kind of want to see how everything fits in the tubes. I was a little, when I got the lock and loads here from Phantom, I was a little shocked at how loose they actually were in the DR11s. Lock and loads just come with the basic mortar. It's not reinforced on the bottom. But I was kind of shocked at how loose the lock and loads were in the DR11. So I kind of wanted to get the DR9s as well, just to see if maybe they would still fit in a DR9 tube. So anyways, I'm going to take these over to the bench here and kind of do some measuring on everything and see how everything fits in the tubes. Well, I got everything unpacked, and I was just going to kind of show you real quick what I was kind of thinking of. There's my unloaded 30 shot. This is the 20 shot that they sent me. And the thing that I think I'm going to have to change on these, and I changed on mine that I built, was at this bottom plate. Doesn't really go. It's got about an inch and a half plug on it, and this bottom plate is only about that deep. So where the actual mortar, the actual artillery shell is sitting at is actually above that plate, which mine I actually raised up on mine. So I might end up having to do that, but they're just put together with Phillips screws. It's good. It's a MDF board on the bottom of it and the top rail, which, you know, it's all going to be good and solid. So anyways, 15 shot, or the 15 inch DR11s on it. I only put half in there just to kind of show you how they fit in there side by side on it. And then on my 30 shot, this is kind of what I was thinking of. What I've got is the Pyro Direct DR11, and then the DR9 DR11 DR9. So shooting up, you know, sequentially, you're going to have little different size brakes on it. Probably starting out with the DR9s. I'll probably swap them around. Start out with the smaller brakes, but mixed in with everything. And then behind them, you actually have the 15 inch in the middle going through it. And then the back side will be filled with the other Pyro Direct DR11 tubes. But just so that way I can get some variations. I don't know, that 15 inch, you know, on the internet it's really hard to verify if that 15 inch mortar is actually going to get me any more height on my shells or not, but I guess we'll find out. And then just above that I've got my the 6 shot with the DR9. Let's see if we can actually get maybe a shot on that. You can kind of see just how thick that sidewall is on the DR9 versus the DR11. And that's just to accommodate the larger shell, which, like I said, you would think with a larger shell you'd actually want the thicker wall just to prevent blowouts, but I realize this is just all water piping is what it is. So that's just kind of an idea how everything fits in the racks. I've got a ton of the DR11 from my previous video there in that box underneath that. So get back over to the bench here, do some measuring, see how those tubes fit. Alright, so I'm over here at the bench, got a couple tubes laid out. I got the DR9 12 inch, DR11 12 inch, and the DR11 15. Just going to do some quick measurements just to kind of let everybody know what we're dealing with here. The DR9 is just under a foot cut, and they're all kind of cut, well, uneven, I guess I would say. Just standing up, it definitely stands at a slant. The bottom is not cut very straight, as well as the plug either. But once you get it in the rack and it's secure, it's fine. And then from there, once we bottom out on the plug, we're looking at about just under 10.5 inches. So I would call it a good 1.5 inch plug on the bottom of it, like I said before, on that pyroboom. Pyro direct, same measurement, just under 12. Hitting the plug is actually just maybe even a little bit shorter on that. Just going to depend on the size of the plug that they got on there. So 1.5 inch plug on that as well. The one they're advertising is 15. Is right at 15, at least for this one. They're all going to vary a little bit. This one is actually, the plug is real smooth on it. The bottom of it's real good. And then once we get it measured in there at the bottom of the plug, about 13.5. So they're again about 1.5 inch plug. So they're all the same, 1.5 inch plugs. The Pyro Direct still has only three staples in the plug as well. 3 staples around there for the plug. So the main difference on the DR9s versus the DR11s, like I said, is just the thicker wall on it. So I was just going to give you a quick measurement here. On the outside wall of the DR9, we're looking at just under, it's about, it's about just under 1/2 inch, I'd say, on that one. And the DR11 is quite a bit smaller here. We're about at 5/16 of a wall. Oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/16. So just under 1/2 inch on that. But it's amazing the difference that it makes on the inside. So that's why they list them for the consumer ball shells. The inside diameter on that it is actually just about 1 inch and 5/8. So if you use an 1.5 inch shell on that, it'll work just fine. Compared to this one where we expanded out, so the inside diameter is quite a bit bigger on that, and we are looking at just under 1 3/4 inches. Just under 1 3/4 inches on that. So for the canister shells, so like this is one of the lock and loads, one of my favorite ones. It's the big brocade shell. They got a glow in the dark arrow on them. Fits really well actually in the DR11 from Pyro Direct. Pyroboom, I don't expect to be any different. Actually fits maybe a little bit better in that one. And being the 15 inch, my main concern was going to be the fuse on it. And it's still going to work, but it's going to be pretty tight. I'll just have to fuse them across the top, just straight across the top on the row of it. But there is enough sticking out that we'll be fine on it. Now this is the red rhino shell, the jumbo green stars with silver pistils. It even shows a picture of the burst on it, but it's not an accurate picture, I don't think, because none of that's green. But they're labeled top. Right, this side up for the idiots that don't know how to load them. So they're actually maybe even slightly bigger once you get the fuse on there. That's the thing that kind of people don't think about. The shell might be listed at 1 3/4 inches, but by the time you get the fuse wrapped on the side of it, to actually get it in the tube, it's pretty good and snug. There again, we actually have a little bit more on the 15 inch. We have quite a bit of fuse sticking out on that from the red rhino shell. So that's going to work real well. Just out of curiosity, I was going to see if they fit in the DR9, and the lock and load does. I would be fine using it if, I emphasize if, the fuse it seems to be hitting on the fuse right there as it enters the shell. So that's not going to happen. But let's get some festival balls or black box shells, whatever, use on that DR9. That's going to work fine for me. So what I noticed is it seems like this red rhino shell is slightly larger than the lock and load. So there again, I was just going to kind of take a quick measurement on it, just out of curiosity to see. So the red rhino shell is just almost right at 1 3/4 inches. Just leave that there, see if I have to, and I do have to kind of expand it just ever so slightly on it. It's just slightly larger on it. What I've got over here is actually just a basic kitchen scale. It's not a digital one, so if I'm wrong, don't hammer on me. Just on weight wise of the red rhino, just over 4 ounces. Just kind of eyeballing it, I'd say 4 1/4 ounce for that shell, that particular one. The lock and load is, even on the analog scale, basic kitchen scale, I'm going to call it right about 4 ounces. So might be a little bit heavier, but I'm pretty sure they're all probably maxed out at 60 grams of powder and composite components inside there. It might be just wrapped maybe 1 or 2 more times with some paper, just to make it a little bit heavier, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Even if it's wrapped with another 1 or 2 wraps of paper on it, it might just even give it a little bit quicker, better break in the sky. From the videos I've seen, I don't think these are nearly the lock and loads, but I think those are still going to be pretty cool. So anyways, that's just it. I just kind of want to show you. I got my pyroboom order received. I think I'm done ordering mortars and everything for a while at this point. Just saving up to expand, get some more fireworks. But I got my fingers crossed that we're even going to have a 4th of July this year. In the area that I'm at, it's definitely drought ridden. We got a little bit of snow today, but I wish we'd get a lot more this winter so that way going into spring, I'm confident that we're even going to be able to light off. They did make fireworks illegal for the New Year's Eve just because of the drought. So I'm hoping that they don't do the same for the 4th of July. Otherwise, I'm just going to be hanging on to all this stuff till the following year. So, or maybe I might have to take a vacation out of state just to go somewhere so I can light off some fireworks. So, but anyways, that's just it. Just wanted to show you a quick video. Thanks.